So one of the defining characteristics of the psychedelic state of mind, and the psychedelic state of mind is simply synonymous with higher consciousness, okay? So when I say the psychedelic state of mind, I'm referring to states where the being, the individual, is operating at a higher consciousness. So there are several characteristics, and one of the foundational characteristics of that state of mind, any higher altered state of consciousness that is in operating at a higher vibration, is the dissolution of time. So it's a sort of a bending of the time as we perceive it at a particular frequency, which is past, present, and future. And you are essentially in the here and now pretty much permanently until you come down either from the trip or your consciousness sort of descends into a lower vibration, and now again you're being bound by time. So I have been doing a lot of meditation lately, and that sort of has been coming to my attention of late, that if I really have to go beyond and level up the consciousness that is experiencing this energy system here, then I would have to do something about time. I would have to do something about my perception as far as time is concerned. And it really dawned upon me when I was getting a massage yesterday, because lately I've just kind of been doing a lot of mantras. So if I go get a massage, it's an hour, so I'll say a mantra, and I started saying something, I can't remember what mantra, and suddenly it turned into this was the mantra I was uttering. No past, no future, no time, only now. And I kept saying that for pretty much, the majority of the duration of that 1 hour. And I thought, okay, well, clearly I have to really examine my relationship to time. And so went back home, meditated some more, meditated on the manner, kept saying the mantra, and I tried to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I pretty much didn't get any sleep last night in the traditional sense. I just laid down a lot of laying down, but none of that deep sleep. And sort of, I think I tried to sleep between 10 p.m. and maybe 1 a.m. Couldn't really sleep, got up, went for a ride on the bike, hang out in my place, meditated, and had the epiphany to do a clock fast, to stop looking at the clock. So what I did is I turned off my phone and went on about, I don't think I slept until the morning, a little bit before sunrise. But I turned off my phone and I just kept meditating until I eventually fell asleep. And I turned off my phone. I woke up. I don't know when I woke up, because I said, well, that's it. No more time. No more looking at the clock. So I had my phone turned off the whole morning, and I just turned it on now, actually, to make the video. And I have no idea what time it is now. I have no idea at all what time it is now. I use my phone. My iPad, I use it just for teaching. So I just use my phone. I don't use my laptop. So what I did before I turned off my phone is I got label. Okay, I got labels. I'll show you real quick. Actually, no, it's boom. It's with me right here. So I got labels, just adhesives, stickers, and I stuck one right here on my phone where the time is displayed. Okay, so I can't see the time on my phone. Now there is another way for me to see the time on the phone, which is I have a Samsung S10. So when you you're trying to turn on your phone, right? So you press that thing where you have to swipe it, and then you could go wherever you want on the phone, and it shows you the time. So what I am now getting in the habit of, what I so far successfully did when I turn on the phone, is I just cover it with my hand. So I cover, it's on the top part usually, and by the time, if I get to the apps, you know, if I'm scrolling through the apps, then it's just that clock on top, on the top left, and I can't see it right now. I put a sticker there, I can't see it. I experimented, you know, when I go to the apps, but I just have to cover in the beginning. When I turn on the phone to swipe up and go to the apps, right? It shows you the time and the date and everything. So I just have to cover. I have to get in the habit of covering, so not seeing it, until I get successfully to the app, and then there's no time. I don't see the time there. And so far it's been a successful experience, and to be honest with you, I was feeling a little lost without time. And I mean, I woke up, had no idea what time it is. And it's cloudy, so you know, the sun will tell you what time it is, but it's cloudy. So I really have no idea. Now, I could tell you approximately what time it is now based on two things. Approximately, I could tell you based on, I drove around town, and it's clearly still the early part of the afternoon, because certain shops open up, you know, in not in the evening, just late afternoon, let's say, and none of these shops is open. So I could tell by the movement of energy in the area around me that it may be around, it's early afternoon, and I could see some of the sun right now, so it's starting to come out a little bit, and I could tell that it's also, again, early afternoon, and that's a far, in my opinion, that's a far better, superior way of navigating yourself through life. You know, because the clock is based on, hey, the sun is coming out. Very nice. So the clock that we have is simply based on the cycles of the sun. Okay, so why not go to the source and just sort of navigate your life according to the source? Because the clock is based on the sun. It's based on the movements of the celestial objects, and the sun being the primary one. So, you know, this is far superior. But I mean, I felt lost. Yeah, I felt lost. Woke up. I mean, the first thing I usually do when I wake up is I'll look at the time. I'll reach for my phone, see what time it is. But the phone was off, and I said, I'm gonna get one of those stickers, put it in there before I turn on the phone. I just turned it on like literally half an hour ago, and I'm going to do that 5 times a week. So it's sort of like a clock fast, because I have to teach English to kids online for 2 days of the week on the weekends. So those days I will gracefully accept that I have to be, again, bound to this gatekeeper that is keeping us from the kingdom of heaven, and do the best that I can on those days, again, to just meditate and get in the timeless space anyway. Now, it's very important that, you know, I want to be, there's different planes of consciousness, right? One plane of consciousness is timeless. That's the higher awareness. That's the higher consciousness. Then there's other planes of existence. One of them happens to be this plane of existence where we perceive time as past, present, and future, and we use the clock to set appointments, to meet up with friends, to go to events. You know, you want to go to a yoga class or something, it's at that particular time. And so I always talk about the paradox of being here, you know, the electrons being here and not being here. You see, the paradox is everywhere in life. So it is one of those paradoxes where I have to live in both timelessness and in time, because I am in a physical body, and the physical body is bound by the cycles of time. And so I'm not totally dismissing the role of the clock in my life. I'm simply putting it in its place. Okay, like for example, there's this event, it's on Fridays, ecstatic dance. I'm gonna start going to it every Friday, and it's at a certain time. Okay, so what I would do in that particular scenario is, I know it's in the evening, so I don't have to think about it, I don't have to do anything. I just wait until the evening, and maybe you know, when I see that the sun is setting, then I could possibly look at the clock, because I know where the place is. It's close to my house. I could look at the clock, set an alarm 20-30 minutes before the event. So when the alarm takes off, I know, okay, time to drive there, and then go back into the timelessness, go back into, not looking at the clock, you see. So that's because I live in, they say live in this world but be not of it. And if I live bound by time all the time, then I'm kind of screwed. I'm never going to reach higher consciousness if I'm always bound by time. But if I could live more and more in the timeless space and come down to the plane of reality where time is used and other beings around you use time, come down to it when necessary, then I find that is an optimal arrangement, really. I find it to be an optimal arrangement, because again, you want to meet a friend or something, you say, well, let's meet around this time. So if I could do a 5-day clock fast, where in any of those days I could, use the clock when necessary, put it in its place, but pretty much just navigate based on the cycles of nature, based on the position of the sun, and based on my body and based on what's happening in my body, right? Like, last night I try to sleep, I can't sleep, but I kept looking at the clock. I'm like, you should be asleep, Saeed, now, but my body doesn't want to sleep. It wants to get out. I did push-ups at 2 a.m. I did push-ups, I went for a ride, I meditated, I wrote, I journaled. Now, why is the clock being the gatekeeper for my energy? The mind-body complex, the system here didn't want to go to sleep. It had too much energy. It didn't want to go to sleep. But I was constantly looking at the clock. Oh, Saeed, that's not good. That's not good. You're going to be tired tomorrow. You're going to be tired. It's nighttime. You should be asleep. You should be asleep. And it's like, that really got to me. And I was like, then I woke up, meditated on the matter. And I was like, man, I'm a slave to the clock. I'm turning off life. I'm not listening to the harmony of the way. And I'm not listening to the flow of the energy. The flow of the energy right now. I mean, I got up and I was so energetic. It's too much energy. I did push-ups and I walked and I went for a bike ride, and I mean, I just couldn't. It was too much energy. But if I listen to the gatekeeper, the clock that's keeping me away from the kingdom of heaven, the here and the now, the harmony of the way, the harmony of the Tao, then again, I felt this guilt. You should be asleep now, Saeed. Try to go to sleep. And I just want to listen to what's happening here. I don't want to have to constantly look at the clock. Well, it's time to eat now. It's time to do this now. Now is the time to go for this. Now it's time to do that. Rather, just listen to the moment. Be here in the moment all the time and listen to the harmony of it. There's a very, very good chance that I will go to bed today early, but I didn't sleep. Very good chance. But since I have this no clock business and I got no appointment with anybody or anything like that today, I won't look at the clock the whole day. I just won't look at the clock the whole day. So I will sleep for the first time in I don't know how long. Not based on, okay, Saeed, it's 10 p.m. now, it's time to wind down and do your thing so you could sleep. No, I'm simply going to just listen and listen here. I might sleep at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I might have too much energy. I might not sleep tonight. Who knows? I got pretty much a lot of energy right now. But again, it's based on the previous cycles. If I didn't sleep one night, then I'm going to tend to sleep earlier the next night. So, but I'm not going to simply wait or calculate. It's according to the harmony of the way, the harmony of the Tao. And I'm looking at this beautiful sticker. This is gonna help me with this clock fast. I really I feel good about it just looking at it, because I meditated a lot this morning, and I really feel you might be able to see that I feel very much in flow, and I feel like I have taken some form of psychedelic right now, because I don't know what time it is. That's always the first thing I notice when the LSD kicks in or when the mushrooms kick in. There's no time. I'm total timelessness. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. And it's beautiful. It's here. It's now. It's all. There's no time. So I'm getting a little glimpse of that today, simply because I don't know what time it is. I didn't look at the clock. I did not look at the clock. I have no idea what's going on. I have turned off the internet also, so I haven't had any contact with the internet world today. And this is my first contact with technology today. And I'm going to Vipassana retreat soon, in a week. So that means more of that stuff, because there's no technology there. You're pretty much, again, they just tell you now meditate, now it's finished. So you're in timelessness, and there's no technology for 10 days. And I'm really reassessing my relationship with technology, and I'm reassessing my relationship with time. And I'm already taking measures to reduce their imprisonment of my consciousness, their hold on my consciousness, and its expansion, because time really does keep you in a contracted state of awareness. And I'm really glad that I'm doing this retreat, because it will really take this whole no technology, no clock to the next level, pretty much. And then what's important is how I'm going to integrate it after the retreat, which I'm already beginning to integrate before. I'm already beginning to integrate these concepts and these habits and these ways of being. And I definitely love this idea of clock fasting for 5 days, and using it only when necessary in those 5 days. If I have, again, an appointment with a friend, or I'm going to say ecstatic dancing, or maybe I want to go drop in a yoga class, then I will simply get a feeling for, okay, I know that ecstatic dancing is at night, 7 p.m. So I won't even think about it or look at anything or do anything until sunset. Then, around sunset, maybe I'll look at the clock, set an alarm 20 minutes before. So use it like that, in its place. You see? Or if I know, say, I'm meeting a friend in the evening, same thing. Same thing. And then just keep this clock fast, keep this sticker here. Pretty much phone is the only thing I use on the non-teaching days, which is 5 days. And keep it covered with my hands when I turn on the thing. So far I did it successfully. So I just have to get in the habit of doing that. And there again, I'm on the. My mission now is to get in a psychedelic state on a consistent basis, just without using psychedelics. Psychedelic. When I use psychedelic state, because I have a reference point. I've done a lot of psychedelics. I have a reference point for that state of higher awareness, higher consciousness. So I use that term, but it simply is a state of higher consciousness. It's a state of timelessness. It's a state of also living in paradox. Also, it's a state of living here and there. So living in timelessness, yet living in time. Okay, so you're still on this. You're an operating being on this plane of existence, on this time-bound consciousness, mass consensus reality. Because consensus reality is bound by time. Everybody's bound by time. Look at your own behavior. You'll see that the clock is really your prison guard. It's the gatekeeper. It's the prison guard. You will see it in your own behavior. Everything is dependent on the clock. Everything you do, all your habits, everything, your work, your food. Okay, now it's this time. I'm gonna eat now, right? But the truth is, every day life is different. Every day it's different. Every day it's different. It really is. Every day is different. There's no. Sometimes you sleep a little more. Sometimes you sleep a little less. Sometimes you sleep longer. Sometimes you sleep maybe you sleep. You wake up really early. Other times not so early, because of the energy of so many forces acting upon you, right? Like in winters, like when I lived in Canada, in winters, like your cycles are totally different than in summer. You know what I mean? Like it's totally different. But if you're gonna try to pinpoint it, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. Big trouble if you're gonna try to structure life and go by a routine, and you're taken away from the spontaneity of life. You're taken away from the beauty of life, which is that every moment is completely, it's unique, it's different. And so the energy flow in that moment is completely unique and completely different. And by being clock bound, we really take away a lot of that spontaneity, a lot of that, the pleasure that one gets from life, from entertaining each new moment as it comes and flowing with the energy as it comes moment by moment. Because energy flows. Last night says, Saeed, get up, you've got a lot to do here. You meditate and walk and push-ups and this and that. Now because if I'm clock bound, which I was, and I realized that, then I resisted that energy flow for a little while. Then I said, no, this why am I wasting my time here trying to sleep? It's not gonna happen. You see, so it's resisting life, being closed off to life because you're clock bound. And that's definitely something I'm majorly focused on now in the next phase. And again, the way I have this whole setup thing, the Vipassana retreat that's coming up, is going to help me tremendously begin to integrate these states of being, ways of being in the world that contribute to higher consciousness, higher awareness. Okay, so that's about it. Special thanks to our Patreons for their continued support. You guys are amazing. I really want to show lots of gratitude for you guys. I want to show lots of gratitude for you guys, and if you would like to join in, support this channel, if you like what I said, you've got a couple of bucks to throw my way every month or so. Every month, yeah, you could do so via Patreon. If you want to just do one-time donations, any amounts will help, will do. Love you guys, and until next time, may the force be with you.